And that's the doorbell. I was ready to yell at Ames. No, I wasn't gonna yell at her, but this is actually for me. It's a book. Yeah. Look at that baby. I have no clue if the camera's focusing on this. I don't think so. Oh my god. It's the first edition. Very fitting, actually. Because, hi, hello, welcome back. It's been a fucking long time. I look different. I have a new haircut, a new hair color, and I'm sorry that it's been so long. I can't promise it will be less time next time. I have plans for videos. I'm a busy gal. I'm working on 5, and after the 5, I don't really want to do shit. But I'm here to talk about V. Schwab because I interviewed V. Schwab recently for the release of her upcoming book, Bare Bones in the Midnight Soil, and I wanted to talk about that because I got to do that, and that's fucking crazy. So I'm going to tell you about how I got to interview V. Schwab, which isn't actually that exciting of a story, but I'm going to tell you that, and then I'm going to show you the interview at the end. The aspect ratio is going to be weird as fuck because it was filmed to be portrait mode for social media, but I'm morally opposed to putting portrait mode videos in landscape mode video viewpoints. I don't know words. You know what I mean. So you're gonna get a weird zoomed in version of it. I'm sorry. It's gonna look slightly weird, but I checked the aspect ratios and I think it should be fine. And if not, I don't know. I interviewed V. Schwab on a day. Could not tell you which day, actually. It was a Thursday. So I want to say 17th of April. It was in April. It was early April. And I got 16th of April. I'm going to figure out and put it somewhere on the screen. But it was just the most incredible experience because I have all of her books. Actually, that's not true. I don't have the Dark Vault series. But other than that, I think I have all her books, many different versions of the books. Let me know if you want a tour of all of the different V. Schwab books I have. This one has now been added to the collection. I can't believe I got this off of Vinted for like 20 quid. This is a first edition hardback. Crazy. Yeah, let me know if you want to see like all my V. Schwab books. I'm very happy to show you. I'm very proud of them. Yeah, so I got introduced to V. Schwab via my good friend Danny, love of my life, who just texted me like, hey, have you read Darker Shades of Magic? I think you'd really like it. And I said, no, but it'll go on the list. And then I read it and I did really like it. And then I read all the other books. So yeah, and then I started doing this, but not here because this is my second video on YouTube. But I'm a cosplayer, so I was doing cosplay on TikTok and got a little bit of a following on that. And then over on Instagram, I focused more on books. So I did book reviews and just studied book pictures and shit. And I was very jealous always of people who got book mail and who got books sent to them from publishers and that kind of thing. And I Googled, like, how do I do this? And they said, just sign up for a bunch of shit. So I signed up for a bunch of shit. One of them being, it was just like really good timing. The timing that I considered doing that because it was right when all of the UK publishers opened their lists. You could apply to them. So I applied to the Bloomsbury Creator Circle and Book Insiders. Book Break from Pam Macmillan. And a couple of other ones, but those are, I think, the main two that had like opening times, I think. I say a couple of others. I don't actually know if that's true. I don't think that's actually true. Those are like the two of the big publishers that I've worked with. And I continue to work with Pam Macmillan, and I love them to death. We have some fun things coming up. Keep an eye out. And yeah, so basically they just send out like a forum every once in a while where you can request stuff. So first of all, I requested the Bare Bones in the Midnight Soil arc. Didn't think I was going to get it. Had a full mental breakdown on Instagram. When I did get it, I'll see if I can put some of the pictures in there. V saw them and responded to them, so that was kind of crazy. And then, actually, let me go grab the book. I'll be right back. Can you hear that? That's a good arc sound. Okay, I'm back. You can't see me yet. Here I am. Again, don't know if this will focus. I don't think so, but this is the arc. She's beautiful. Come on, little red square. Turn green. Okay, well, trust me, this is the book. It is number 55? Yeah, it's 55 of 150 because this is one of the special glow-in-the-dark arcs. She is the light of my life. And I got her, I was still can't really believe that I have that. And then my special edition Vicious is like 555 of 1,000, I think. So number 5 really doing things for me. I guess that I read it, I loved it, I posted a review about it, whatever. If you want me to do like a video on the book, I will. It's so fucking good. But then later, Penn Macmillan again sent out an email being like, hey, we have like limited places for a special event, just like a special book launch event to celebrate Bury Our Bones. And here you can apply to get in. And I said, I'm doing that ASAP. So I did it ASAP. And then at the bottom of the thing was like, also, we're going to select a very selective few people who can ask some questions. You can interview her before the event. You'll have to be able to like blah, blah, blah this time. And I was like, I don't know if that's going to fit with work, but I'll make it work. It did work. And then they were like, give some example questions of what you would ask her, right? And I said, oh dear God, I don't have the mental capacity to deal with this right now. So I called my friend Taylor. I was so panicked. I was like, I have to do this right now. I don't know why. I don't think it's a first come, first serve basis. Maybe for attending, but I think for like the actual interview, they'll probably read all the questions and then they'll pick people. I don't know. But I was panicked, so I called my friend Taylor in a panic. I think she was driving. I was like, I don't know what to ask. What do I ask? And we brainstormed a couple of things. And I put in my questions, and I was like, cool. Well, whatever. I gave it a shot. Not going to happen. And then I got an email inviting me to the event. So I was like, cool. So I'm invited to the event. Already fucking fantastic, because she's going to be there. That's crazy. But it didn't say anything about interviewing. So it's like, okay, well, I'm not interviewing her, but I didn't expect it to happen. So that's absolutely fine. Move on with my life. About a week later, like little girls. Sorry, there's a cat. I'm watching the cat. Ooh, big stretch. What a good girl. Don't knock down the camera. You can sniff it. You can sniff the camera. Don't. Good girl. Anyway, what was I saying? What was Tina something to say? So, like, the event was on like a Thursday. So, the Monday before the event, I get an email being like, hey, you've been chosen to interview via Schwab. Can you please, like, lock down your questions? And I was like, I wonder, huh? I'm in the who and the what and the me. All right. If you say so. So I looked back at my form because I completely blanked on what I'd said for questions. I could not remember for the life of me. So went back to look at the form that I had sent them and be like, yeah, these questions. Actually, I think they might have been like, we like these questions. And I was like, slay, let's do it. But they needed to have have it locked down and have it sent over to V's team to get it like approved. So yeah, that was crazy. And then it's like, oh, this is the thing I'm doing now. Panicked about the outfit immediately. Not the happiest. I like it. I think it could have looked cuter, but she liked my shirt, so that's a plus. She complimented my shirt. A bunch of people at the event actually complimented my shirt, which is great because I made it. I'm not wearing it now. I should have. I also made this one, but this one's not available yet. Maybe it is at the point when I finally edit and upload this video. I'll let you know. But you'll see it. I wore my If Lost Please Return to Casbrecker shirt because Six Crows and Liberty and V Schwab have a lot of the same vibe. So I was like, this will be good. And I gotta grab every moment of self promo that I can. And I said this to V, and she's like, correct. Good. I was gonna say good girl. She did not say good girl. She just said, absolutely. I love that. So sorry about that. Anyway, Thursday, at work all day. Normal day work, except I was shitting myself and my backpack was so full because I had my ARC with me. I had my camera with me because I wasn't sure if it was going to be like a phone thing or if there was a camera setup because I wanted to film it for YouTube. But when I got there was like only a phone setup and I was like, I'm not going to be the person to be like, actually, can I shove my camera somewhere too? But yeah, I had my camera in there. So I had all my work stuff in there. I had my change of clothes. I had all my makeup. And she's a junky girl. She takes up most of my bag already. But yeah, so, and then I got changed in the work bathroom. And then I hauled ass over to the other side of London. And I went to the Penn Macmillan offices, which I love their offices. I've been there a couple of times. And I was the first one to arrive, the first one to, like, do the interview, I think. Not I think, I know. But it was great. And they were all very, very, very lovely. And so we chatted for a bit while we waited for V to arrive. Because I think she was running late a little bit, which absolutely fine. I was like, I'll take 2 seconds in a room with V Schwab, okay? But yeah, then V arrived. She was lovely. She was very, very sweet. We had a little bit of an introduction, a little bit of conversation. We went over the questions I was going to ask very broadly, like just like the vibe, so she knew what to be prepared for, and like she approved of them, like I guess a final approval thingy. Yeah, we set up day provided mics. We had our conversation. I completely blacked out. Looking back, I don't think I did a very good job, but all my friends are very low. Sup, homies. I don't know if there was a weird cut for you guys because I haven't edited this, but if there was a weird cut, it's because my camera died. So it's now like 20 minutes later. I wrote about 100 words. So productive. And I can't remember where I was in the story. I think I was saying I was blacking out during the interview. And, oh yeah, and I said that looking back while I had to edit it, I don't think I did bad, but I don't think I did very well. But it was my first time ever interviewing someone, and it's V. Schwab, who's like my top 3 favorite writers. So, you know, I feel like I can be excused. All my friends said that I did a great job, but they are my friends, so they are contractually obligated to love me and tell me nice things about me. So, but you guys can judge for yourselves, because I'm about to show you. But yeah, so I think our interview lasted, the actual like interview itself was like 6 minutes, but I think I was probably in the room with her for about 15 to 20. And then I went upstairs, and they had like lots of themed snacks and drinks, and it was fantastic. And I talked to a bunch of people, and then everyone else kind of started showing up. It was great. It was a very fun chatting with everyone, seeing some of my friends from other book events I've met before, making new friends. Fantastic view of St. Paul's Cathedral, beautiful stuff. And then V came out and she read us some passages from the book, which is really cool. I'd already read it, so I think that to me added something extra. But maybe I obviously I can't say how it was if you hadn't read it, because that's a different experience than what I had. Anyway, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Yeah, so she read us a couple passages, I think like 2, maybe 1. I actually can't remember. And then there was a Q&A section, and then she signed our books, which was really cool. We all got like a tote bag which says Toxic Lesbian Vampires on it, which is one of my favorite tote bags. On her book tour for Fragile Threads of Power, someone asked like, what are your next projects that you're working on? And she said that her next book is going to be about toxic lesbian vampires. Like that's what she refers to it as, so that's how we've all been referring to it as, and it's now just a tagline, and it's fantastic. And it is about toxic lesbian vampires. They're lesbian, they're toxic, and they are vampires, and they are oh so toxic. But it's great to read about because we acknowledge that and we sit with that and we don't romanticize it, which is part of what we discussed in our interview. But yeah, so that was really fun. So we got a bag, we got a pin, we got another arc, but like a regular arc, which I had signed for my friend and gave to her. But yeah, so she sent my arc, and we chatted a little bit again. And she thanked me for the interview. She thanked me for asking a question during the Q&A. She's just a lovely person. And she made me cry like 2 or 3 times during the Q&A. So yeah, I'll put up footage from that, what I have, because I know I have some, but I don't quite know what it is anymore, because this was quite a while ago.
And so I thought I would give you a taste of one of my favorite scenes. Just to give you a tiny bit of preface, this is a scene where Sabine, my favorite of the vampires, is hanging out with her new friends, Hector and Renata, and she has gotten drunk for the first time because she hasn't realized that what's in the blood can also impact her. And so she is having a grand old time, and something is about to go very, very wrong. Also, she loves Renata and she does not love Hector, and that is very important for this little trio of friends. So here we go. Renata grins and rises, drawing Sabine with her. The room rocks and tilts, the heady mix of blood and liquor buzzing through her, but Renata keeps her on her feet. Hector has taken up his melancholy song again, but she insists on something cheerful. Obligingly, he changes to a folksy tune, and then they are dancing, Renata and Sabine, twirling barefoot across the rug, careful not to trip on fallen limbs. It is a moment to press in amber, a lightness she has never felt, until Renata twirls her once too hard and then lets go, and Sabine loses her balance, her quick senses rushing up to catch her with her slow limbs. And she stumbles, not on a body, but on a short wooden stool that breaks beneath her when she falls. The fiddle skids to a stop as the stool snaps and splinters beneath Sabine, a thick shard piercing her back. I forget sometimes, he mutters, shaking his head, how little you know. Sabine bristles, opens her mouth to bite back, but just then the man on the floor summons the last of his strength. Oh, I forgot. They've been massacring an entire household. There was like 6 of them, and there's just one dude left. So Sabine bristles, opens her mouth to bite back, but just then the man on the floor summons the last of his strength and makes a final doomed effort at escape. Because what you're saying is that I can only write queer characters that exist on pedestals, that are not messy in the ways I'm messy, so I can't write authentic queer characters. I can't write anyone that makes me feel seen in a book. And so in many ways, this is a little bit of a reckoning with myself as well as with publishing, because I was scared for so long to write messy lesbians, you know, and I let them be small then in my stories. I let the queerness be more subtextual than textual. I let it be downplayed the same way I downplayed myself in publishing for years. Oh, don't worry, yeah, I'm gay, but it's such a small part of myself. Don't even think about it. Don't worry about it. Yes, I'm a woman, but yeah, don't even think about it. Don't even worry about it. Don't think about it. I tried to make myself as small as possible to make as less bad noise as possible. And this book is me getting extremely tired of doing that and saying, you know what? No, like, I want to transmute Addie LaRue's success into something. I want to transmute it into boldness. I want to transmute it into daring, because if I don't feel like I can write these kinds of women at this point in my career, I will never feel like I can write these kinds of women. And I'm really tired of publishing, waiting for publishing as an industry and as my own internal industry to like feel comfortable doing this, because it's not comfortable. I am scared shitless of having these three women in the world, because they're messy and they're complicated and they exist on the spectrum of heroism and villainy, but like so do people. And I think it's time that we get to write queer characters that are as complicated as their straight counterparts, that are allowed to take up space and to be weird and to be ambitious and to be selfish and to be self-serving and to be searching for things. They don't always need to be some polished, heroic form. They just get to be people. And so weirdly, a book about 500-year-old vampires is really just a book about getting to be gay.
But yeah, so that's my experience interviewing V. Schwab. She was fantastic. I love her. I love her writing. If you see this, I promise I'm not creepy. I'm really cool and professional. It's a lie. I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd and I'm a fangirl at heart. And I lost my absolute shit over this opportunities. Thank you again to Payne Mac for making that happen. Thank you to Days for sending me the arc. And just being the entire team for being so kind to me when I think it was very clear that I was losing my mind and so anxious. But yeah, I will roll the tape. I hope you enjoy the interview. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Oh, interview, old hair, jump scare. Sorry. It's not that different, but to me. Anyway. Bye.
I actually don't have like an introduction. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to talk about Bury Our Bones.
Me too. I absolutely devoured it. I loved it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I will welcome every food, eating, hunger, taste metaphor for the rest of my life.
I didn't even do that on purpose. But yes, absolutely. Okay, so
Yes.
I was thinking after reading it, if you could take the characters from Bury Our Bones, or at least three of them,
Yes.
so the main ones, Sabine, Charlotte, and Alice,
Yeah.
and put them into, for example, the world of
Shades
Dark
of Magic.
Shades of Magic.
Yeah.
The different Londons.
Okay.
Who do you think would go in which London?
So I think that Charlotte originally, I guess, would come from like our gray London, because that's our reality-based one. So I'll put her back there. I think she can handle it. Alice, I think, would do really beautifully in red London, like with the magic and the whimsy. I think she'd make the most of it. Sabine, she's a white London. There's no way she is not ruling white London. She's got major Dane twin energy happening, and I think she's definitely in line for the throne of white London.
Yeah, and I think she would keep it.
Oh, she would keep it. Like the rule for White London, right, is that the throne is kept until it's taken by force. I think Sabine would be like a multi-generational ruler.
Well, with like the immortal aspect, she'd be there literally forever.
Yeah, it'd be very hard to take her down.
Yeah.
It would be very hard.
I'd like to see people try, though. I would read that.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I would read that fan fiction. That'd be fun crossover.
Maybe I'll write it. And I'll just send it to you.
Yes, that's totally fine.
And then there's, for people who might not know yet, there is a little, not necessarily crossover, but there are elements of one of your other worlds in this book.
Yes.
With reference to Addie.
Which, yes.
As soon as I read it, I went,
Did you catch it?
I did. I caught it immediately.
This is so much fun for me, because very, like, few people, not none, but few very special people have caught it so far. So I challenge readers to find it. Yeah, Bury Our Bones and Addie LaRue, very much set in the same world,
Yeah.
occupying the same space, the same garden, as I like to call it.
Love that.
And yeah, there's a crossover.
Yeah, I read like the line and then I immediately went,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I think I actually I messaged you on Instagram going, was that
Intentional.
Was that a reference?
Yeah. Yeah. It brings me a lot of joy.
Yeah, or am I just like reading into it?
No.
Because I do that.
Everything is intentional. And only thing that people have ever read into is like with one of my series, they did something that would have been cleverer than what I did, and I wished I could take credit.
Did you just
for
like?
it. I was like, oh, that
Yes.
would have been a great idea.
Like next time, just go. Yes, that was intentional.
I know I should take credit
Yeah.
for them, but I can only take credit for my own.
That's very fair. Yeah. All right, and then I thought something might be fun is if we take some other fictional vampires.
Yes.
And rank them based on how toxic they are.
Okay.
And potentially, if you wanted to, how queer they are.
Ooh, am I doing a 1 to 10 style ranking, or am I just basically doing toxic, not toxic? Or what about a meter?
I think we can do a meter. I think that'd be fun.
We'll do a meter.
Yeah.
Okay, here's not toxic.
Yes.
And here's toxic.
Yes. And I
Okay.
think the queerness kind of goes hand in hand with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Great.
So let's start with a great one. Let's start with Lestat.
Oh, toxic. Just all the way toxic.
Yep.
Also all the way queer.
Yes.
Like canonically both. So the meter is fully over here.
And then the original, well, maybe not the original, but Dracula.
I'm gonna put straight up the middle. Also, unfortunately, the queerness straight up the middle on that
Yeah.
one. We're getting like it's pretty basic energy.
Yeah. One that might differ opinions. I have my own opinions. Spike from Buffy.
Toxic. Not queer.
Okay.
Okay, I know he's like a queer icon because of
I would
the hair
put him
gel
more,
and like
but
there's
I
something.
tend to make. I like all characters over.
Exactly.
on that
I
side.
want him. Look, I want him to be
Fair.
as queer as he is toxic, but I can't give him that credit because I don't think he's earned it.
That's, you know what? That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. The biggest vampire of my generation, Edward.
So straight.
Yeah,
So
unfortunately.
straight. Still toxic because I'm going to argue that literally every vampire out there exists not
I
on
would
the not
agree
toxic.
with you. I also, my bachelor dissertation came from the idea of that I got frustrated with the romanticization of Edward.
Yes, thank you. Also, just very weird age gap romance and also like a fetishization of high school. Like, why are you going back to high school?
Yeah.
Like, why are you making the choice to go back to high school?
I know you're
over
technically
again?
like stuck at 17, but you don't have to.
But is he emotionally stuck at 17? Because we're supposed
I
to
don't know,
believe
the way
he's
he
like, I don't
acts.
know. I don't know. Okay, obviously, I'm not an Edward fan in this house. I'm so sorry.
All right, Carmilla.
Here's the thing. Definitely queer. Not more toxic than most other vampires. Like, I'm going to say she's
alright.
not toxic. She's obviously, look, we're coming into people's rooms without permission. We're in some gray consent
Compared to
territory.
some of the other things we've got going on the list.
But she's also a lot more aloof than I think people, like, I just reread it because I wrote an introduction for an edition of Carmilla.
cool.
And, like, I really thought that it was going to be way more overt, way sexier, way steamier. And I was like, this lady's just coming into your room at night and you're having dreams of her. Like, this is not even,
Sounds kinda
not
nice.
even that queer. It's more just about the unknowable
Yeah.
seduction of the woman that can't be controlled.
which I do love.
Yeah, we do love it.
All right, so finally, one of my favorite vampires, Simon Lewis.
Oh, I mean, queer and not toxic. Somehow
I
we
agree.
have managed a queer, not toxic vampire in Simon Lewis.
I think he's
Yeah.
he's definitely over on that side for
Yeah,
queer. But
yeah, but every other vampire, look, every vampire is toxic. I think that's what
to
we
an
can
extent,
agree.
to an extent for sure, because you are
Yeah.
biting people and
You're also, there's always a consent issue because if there's compulsion, if there's like age gap, if there's any element, like I don't think we can call vampires a non-toxic or non-problematic category.
Yeah.
We just have to engage with it. Like the women in Bury Our Bones, super toxic.
Yes.
But we call it what it is.
we do. And if you want to read about toxic lesbian vampires,
Join me.
You should read Bare Your Bones.
Yeah,
'cause
join
it's
me.
good as fuck.